Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Cars Are, and welcome to the first episode of what should be an extremely fun series for you guys watching to watch and for me to create, because this is the first episode of my next supercar. Now, what I'm gonna do in this first episode is discuss with you guys what cars exactly I am looking at as my next supercar. And not just that, but hopefully take maybe some of your suggestions as well as to what you guys would like to see coming on the channel. Before I move on to discussing the options, however, I just thought I'd mention, for those of you who've been following my channel, you would know that I recently sold my supercharged Audi R8. And unfortunately, this supercar that I will be buying right now will not be the replacement for the R8. That is to come at a later date. But that said, this supercar that I am purchasing will come with me to the UK, where I have to complete my university studies. And hopefully that should be an extremely fun experience, because I'm going to get to do things with this supercar that I've never done before. I'm going to get to drive the Nürburgring, the Stelvio Pass, the Autobahn, you know? Those motoring holy grail drives and roads that I've never had the opportunity to experience before. So without further ado, let's get straight into it by discussing the first option, which is the 2017 to 2019 Mercedes-Benz Amg Gtr. Now, I make no secret of the fact that I absolutely adore AMGs. I mean, my Brabus 730 E63 has over 60,000 kilometers on it in 6 years of ownership, and I can't see myself selling that car, like I say every single time. I also have had the opportunity to get behind the wheel of a lot of AMG GTSs, and on multiple occasions, and every time I walk away feeling the same thing, just thinking in my head, "Yaar, this car is phenomenal to drive, absolutely phenomenal." What makes it so great? Well, it's just a very fun car. The engine, the transmission, the 4-liter twin-turbo V8, I absolutely adore that engine. I drove the C63 that belongs to a friend of mine recently, and every time I do, that engine, the way it sounds, the way it revs up, it's a very enticing engine. But I've never driven an AMG GTR. And I feel like if I do, I'm gonna fall absolutely in love with the car. Because car reviewers have compared it to the 911 GT3 RS, 911 GT3. Shmee150 actually made a video comparing his 911 GT3 to his AMG GTR and said that he prefers the AMG, which is incredible to me, because the 911 GT3 is the holy grail of drivers' cars. The GT3 RS, actually, to be more precise. That said, the AMG GTR could be a very fun car to buy and a very fun car to tune as well. I mean, you can tune it to make 700 horsepower with Rentec. You can add brilliant exhaust systems to the car, and there's no beating around the bush. The car looks absolutely phenomenal. Also, because it is my only car, I'm going to want something not only practical, but a little bit reliable as well. And I think the AMG GTR fits that bill perfectly. I will be able to avail the international warranty program, and that way my repair bills won't be as astronomical as they would if I were to buy this second car that I'm going to talk about, which is the Ferrari 458 Spyder. That is definitely an option, and it's not just an option, but it's an absolute dream car. Ferrari's last naturally aspirated mid-engine V8 supercar, the 458, and that too, having it be a Spyder, would be, in my opinion, an absolutely brilliant acquisition to take to the UK. 562 horsepower, a lightweight car, something that you can really daily drive. But that's where the problems come in. Sure, it'll be a great supercar, but because, like I said, this is going to be my only car, I don't know if the Ferrari 458 would be a great option. Because the Ferrari 458 is, first of all, mid-engine. It lacks a lot of storage space, and I'm going to want to travel all over Europe with this car. I'm not going to want to keep keep it in the UK because there's not much you can do as far as driving is concerned in the UK. So the 458 will restrict me in its storage capacity. Secondly, the 458 is, first of all, almost I'd say 7, 8, 6 years old. It's an old car now. And because of that, it won't have warranty. And even if I do extend the warranty in Dubai, Ferrari no longer offers an international warranty program. So if something goes wrong in that car, it's all out of pocket. And I'm not sure that's a commitment I'm willing to make. Now, moving on from Ferraris, and let me be honest with you, I think this is probably most likely what I will be picking up. It's either a 991.2 GT3 RS or a 991.2 GT3 with a manual gearbox. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against the PDK. In fact, the GT3 I drove earlier this year was an incredible car. I drove it on these exact roads. And in fact, I'm driving a PDK right now, which as you can see is just instant. You think about shifting and it just shifts gear. But there's something about that manual, that driver's involvement that you get from a stick shift that I'm really missing in my life. Why I'm considering both? Well, to be honest, I haven't driven an RS before. I feel as though if I do, my opinion would change about having a manual GT3 over an RS. But still, something about that 6-speed transmission, it's a rare thing to find these days, and the involvement is just amplified to an extent where you wouldn't imagine. And if I find one that's spec'd the way I want it, with comfort seats, without a roll cage in the back, it can prove to be a surprisingly practical car. And there's this one video that I'm going to link in the description. Make sure you watch it. It's called Manuals Matter by Carfection. And that video really sums up the reasons as to why I want a manual gearbox back in my life. And he makes this very good analogy about how people compare the PDK to the manual gearbox by saying that the PDK is faster. But to which he answers back that instant isn't always better, and then makes an analogy of instant coffee over espresso. I feel like the GT3 with a manual gearbox could be the best option for me. I don't know. I just think it's perfect in every way. And obviously I didn't go as in depth about each car in this because I do plan to test drive each of the cars in Dubai and bring you guys full reviews on all those cars. So do stay tuned for that if you're interested in seeing this journey unfold. But yeah, like I was saying, in a 9,000 RPM red line, and when you're at that 9,000 RPM red line, you let go of the steering wheel with one hand, clutch in, shift to fourth, clutch out, you're at 100 miles an hour. You're just having the time of your life, yeah. So really, honestly, I think the GT3 almost definitely is the best option. Now, no secret of the fact that Ferrari is and has always been my favorite brand. I think Porsche is a close second now, but Ferrari has always been my favorite brand. And as much as I would love to own a Ferrari, the concept of owning one as my only car seems extremely daunting to me. I don't know, I can't explain it because Ferraris don't have the best reliability record. They're not, yeah, they're better now than they were before, but you do still get some issues. Like when I had my Ferrari FF, if I had left that for a month or two, just completely, in Dubai, aise gaadi chhod di, when I would come back to it, I would have a battery fault or some fault, something would go wrong, And that's not something I'm willing to put myself through with my only car. I want something that's bulletproof, something that's reliable, something that's practical, something I can drive and not worry about putting miles on the car or anything like that. And for that, it would have to be between the AMG GTR and the 911 GT3. And of those, or the GT3 RS as well. And of those three cars, I feel like my personal favorite at this moment in time, and solely because of the manual gearbox, would have to be the 911 GT3. I'm sure the RS is more capable. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But sometimes capability doesn't necessarily translate to entertainment. And being an avid car enthusiast, I personally feel that the way a car makes you feel takes precedence over anything else. I want to hear your guys' opinions as well. I'm interested to see what you guys know about each car, what you guys want to see on the channel. because yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be bringing some crazy content to you guys, inshallah, over the next couple months with purchasing the car in Dubai, taking it to London, then road trips, Germany, Italy, Amsterdam. I mean, I'm gonna be going all over the place. So yeah, guys, the first episode of my next supercar. Hopefully this should be a very interesting series. I don't know, like I said, I am more keen on the GT3 at the moment, but I am open to other cars as well. So if you guys have any other suggestions, maybe, I've seen all your comments. McLaren 720S, not a fan. Aventador SVJ, can't afford it as much as I love the car. So really, right now, in my budget, these 4 cars seem to be the most likely options. Maybe I change my mind after driving them. I can't say that enough. I'm not fixated on the GT3 entirely, but I am leaning towards it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned, subscribe for more, and yeah, normally I'd floor it at this point, but I'm stuck in traffic, so cars are out.